Hello and welcome to this edition of Daily Active brought to you by Bootleg Macro. I am Dustin and we are taking a look at Tesla, which is one of the most commonly favored stocks and the most active stocks in Yahoo Finance. And the reason why is because it has major market cap. It's got major volume. It's got the type of CEO that makes you go, I want to get one of those products. And this is the thing. When you see the type of move that we saw today where it was up 3.8% and over the previous 2 days, it was down 3%, down 6%. It was down almost 10% in the previous 2 days. It actually is looking like we may be hitting what might be a short-term bottom here, or at least a place where we can start to make a little bit of, as Becky Quick on CNBC would say, is like a nibble. You might want to be taking a little bit of a long position and starting to get some positions inside of Tesla, depending on where you bought, or if you're already in. Now, there is clearly a gap fill that needs to be filled here. It looks like it opened at 234. It looks like the next day it opened at 249. So there is quite a gap there, probably in the high 230s, maybe 235 to 240, somewhere in there. The thing that is slightly negative, and I'll be honest about it, is that we can see here we have seen the bearish trend change on the short term as well as on the intermediate term. We're going to get a bearish intermediate term here on Tesla going into tomorrow. And then we look at the overall rolling sentiment, which you can see here. We look at the 2-day, we are at 58.66% bullishness, which is still quite high, which is why when you look at this chart, you can see that Tesla loves to roll and trend for a long period of time. But right now, as we're kind of moving back to this 50% range, we might say that we could see something, maybe a pullback in the high 230s. But again, depends on when you got in, if you're out, depending on what you're doing in terms of managing a position. We look at the chart. We can see that this obviously is going to try to fill this gap if it hasn't already. We can look at the daily sentiment. We can see that this is falling quite rapidly. It was all the way up at 71% only a few days ago. On the 21st, it's at 70%. Now we're at 57% on the 27th. That's a very quick move down. The one thing that I do like is that when we look at the volume here, we can see that volume is actually getting a little bit lower as the price is falling. And the volatility is really starting to roll over, and so is the price correlation. So we would expect it to stabilize or at least go sideways for a bit. But tell me, what do you think? Are you long? Are you short? Do you like it? Do you love it? Is this even a good review? I'll talk to you soon.